All right, here we go. Beans Ball Hour, episode number 8. It is the week 3 recap plus week 4 preview. I did not watch as many games this week as I did last week, so I don't think it's going to be another hour and a half episode, but we'll see what happens as I get going. I only watched 3 games this week. And I honestly only really watched I don't even know. Did I even honestly really fully watch any of them? I watched a bit of the. I watched, I'd say, most of Eagles Rams. Or no, I wouldn't even say that. I watched like half of Eagles Rams. I watched all of Seahawks Saints, but split. I watched the first I watched the first half or so as it was happening, and then I watched the second half later. And then Monday Night Football. I had on. Oh no, okay, there was 4. I did watch all of Chiefs Giants. I did watch all of that too. Monday Night Football. I was trying to avoid spoilers so I could watch the whole game when I got home from work, but it did not happen. And so, with like an hour and a half left of my shift, I saw the fucking final score, and so I was just pissed for the next hour. And then I got home, and instead of watching the game, I got drunk because I had my weekend was Monday or Tuesday. I have my days off are Tuesday, Wednesday, at least most of the time. So that was like my Friday night. So I fucking pounded the liquor instead. Um, 38-30, we fucking lost. That sucks. But the Seahawks put absolute belt to the Saints. I was talking last week about how concerned I am with the fact that I've said that the Saints might not win a game and that we play them, and that if they beat us, if this was 3 years ago, this game would have been close and we might have lost. But thankfully, it's not 3 years ago. It's 2025. We have Mike McDonald. We have Sam Donald. We got fucking JSN, Cooper Cup. The defense was beat to shit. We had no players out there. Our secondary had missed. Our secondary were missing 2 starting safeties, Eamon Worry and Julian Love, plus our best corner in Devin Witherspoon. Didn't matter. It's the Saints. They suck. 44-13. Special teams dominated, man. The special teams dominated. A punt return touchdown, a blocked punt that led to a short touchdown. The Saints were unable to get in good field position all day coming off special teams because the special teams defensive unit was awesome. Michael Dixon's obviously the best punter in football, so that helped with those. The Saints just couldn't do anything. It was 21-3. It was 21 to nothing in the first quarter. And the thing that I love the most about this game is that we kept fucking like breaking records, like Seahawks records. It was like, or not, not breaking records, but like first time since Torrey Horton's 95-yard punt return touchdown was the first punt return touchdown the Seahawks have had since Tyler Lockett against the Rams in St. Louis back in 2015. The St. Louis Rams in St. Louis. Can you fucking believe that? That's the last time we had a punt return touchdown. So Torrey Horton finally broke that curse. I think it was something like 21 points in the first quarter was like the most. Or what was it? There was some record that was like, oh, they've scored the most points in X time period since like 2006. 38 points in the first half. That's probably what that one was. It was like they haven't scored 38 points in a half or that many since 2006. There was something like that. There was another like 2012 record that it was like, I don't even remember what that was. I'm telling you, there was like 5 times. The broadcast kept going like, and the Seahawks, this is the first time they've done this since fucking 10 years ago. This is the first time they've done this since 20 years ago. This is the first time they fucking did whatever in 15 years. It was one of those games, just absolutely dominant. JSN, awesome again. 5 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Darnold, 77 completion percentage, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, just plugging away. Plugging away, Sam Darnold, man. I liked what I saw. I've liked all that I've seen out of him this season. I mean, except he had the one pick against Pittsburgh. He threw to Jalen Ramsey. That was a little. I did not like that. But even like the other pick that he threw on the 4th and 1, I was like, that was just a broken play. He had to fucking throw. He had to throw the ball. It was 4th down. Fuck it. But I've just very impressed. Very impressed with this team because, like I said, I feel like this game, a number of years ago would have gone very differently, and we would have been in a tight competitive game with the worst team in football. And I am now, after seeing this performance, willing to say the New Orleans Saints, I'm on the record, I'm stamping it, they're not going to win a game this year. The Saints are going to go 0-17. They're going to be the first team to go 0-17 because nobody's gone winless since the NFL switched to 17-game seasons. It's going to happen, and it's going to be this Saints team. They have nothing going for them. They have nothing going for them. Their defense sucks, their offense sucks, and their special teams is atrocious. And that's a key sign for good teams and for bad teams is special teams. Because nobody thinks about special teams. Nobody really talks about it. It's just kind of, it happens or it doesn't. You have a good special teams or you don't. And one of the things about every year when we see these teams that are just consistently always good, the Chiefs and the Ravens and Buffalo and the Rams and the Eagles, they have good special teams units. They never have bad. The only team over the last few years that I can think of that's like been consistently in the mix that just has awful special teams is San Francisco. That's the only team that's been like, oh, their special teams is atrocious, it's awful, it sucks, but they fucking won 12 games and won their division and, whatever. That's the only example I can think of. Every other good team that's good year in and year out, the special teams is consistent. It's always at least like a service. It's never bad. It's always like a top 15 special teams. You cannot have awful special teams like the Saints do. Like it's not, to me, when I see a team has awful special teams, that tells me all I need to know about that team. Because they don't take it seriously enough. The reason we don't think about special teams and we don't really care about it isn't because it doesn't matter. It's because most of these good coaches and these good teams, they practice it, they preach it. We just don't give a fuck. Because it's not fun, it's not interesting. They do it. They have good special teams. Like, I'm telling you, they focus on that. They practice that. They fucking work on that all the time. And when a team has bad special teams, like that's all, like I said, that's kind of all I need to know to not really take them that seriously. Unless it's San Francisco, because that's just fucking weird. And even like I'm talking special teams, I mean like not even just like, oh, kicker, punter. I'm talking like the guys that are the gunners, the blockers, the guys that are running downfield making tackles. It's important. It's very fucking important. And the Saints were just awful at it. They cannot. And the Seahawks, so far and through these first 3 games, incredible. Incredible special teams unit. And so that's a good sign. I love that. I love seeing that. It makes me, even more confident in where this team is going. And again, the defense, man. Like I said, 3 starters down. Doesn't matter. The Saints suck. And we played them and we treated them like they sucked. And that's important to me. Because like I've been watching these Seahawks teams since I don't know, when did the tide turn? Probably like 2020, 2019, where it was just like randomly we'd play a bad team and we'd just play down to their level. Like in the post Legion of Boom, because like in the Legion of Boom era, we're just killing teams. We're killing good teams. You know what I mean? And then somewhere in the middle, like in the transition between the Legion of Booms, it being the Legion of Booms team and it being Russ's team, that shit started happening where we play a team like the Giants who sucked and we'd lose to them, or we'd play the Redskins who sucked and we'd lose to them, or it'd be a close game. We'd need an end of game drive where Russ has to go 2 minutes, clutch as fuck to win the game against fucking a shitty team, against the fucking Browns, and it's like, what are we doing? And thankfully, that didn't have to happen in this game, and because the defense is just incredible. So it's a good sign for me to see this team beat up on a team we're clearly better than. Obviously, I'm not going to do tons of victory laps because we beat the fuck out of the Saints. Like I just said, they're not going to win any games this year. They're terrible. But it makes me feel good knowing that we can beat the shit out of those kind of teams now. And that's coaching, I feel like. And I think Mike Macdonald has been awesome. And this kind of leads me into the Baltimore thing. Like, all the Ravens fans on Twitter, man, like, they're pissed. They want Mike Macdonald back. And I know exactly why. Because those Mike Macdonald defenses in Baltimore, those defensive units were not even like as talented as this one is. This current Ravens defense, I think, has more talent, has better players than that 2023 defense that was the best defense in football. And because, I mean, that defense was old corners, old Clowney, Van Noy, who's still on the team, and he's good, but, Matabike had his breakout that year. Kyle Hamilton wasn't as good then as he is now. This defense, I feel like, should be. We have the Malachi Starks, the rookie, who's good. The defense was just not as talented, but it was significantly better. It was a much better unit. It way overperformed its talent. And this unit now, with Zach Orr coordinating it instead of Mike Macdonald, is vastly underperforming its talent. I cannot state enough how happy I am that Mike Macdonald is a Seahawk. Because if he was the head coach of any other team, if Mike Macdonald went and got the fucking Tennessee job, I would be crashing the fuck out. But because he's in Seattle, it's like, that's best case scenario for me, because I loved Mike Macdonald in Baltimore. I loved watching him coach this defense. And when we fired Coach Carroll, and when we took forever to hire somebody after, because we were like the last team to hire. And when we did that, it felt like we were waiting for somebody, and I was like, we have to be waiting for Mike Mack. We have to be waiting for Mike Macdonald, because that's the year the Ravens made the AFC title game. And sure enough, like a few days after the AFC title game, Mike Macdonald was in Seattle, and he was the head coach. And yeah, if he was somewhere else, I'd be with all the other Ravens fans crashing out. Why the fuck didn't we fire John Harbaugh? Why the fuck is Mike Macdonald not the head coach? We should have promoted him from inside. It's the most obvious choice ever. And it was. It still was. They still should have done that. But I'm glad they didn't, because that means Mike Macdonald is in Seattle. And they're, posting these graphics of the Seahawks defensive ranks versus the Ravens defensive ranks. And the Seahawks are like top 10, 15 and everything. And the Ravens are like bottom 5 and everything. It's just awful. I don't know what to do. This happened last year to start the year, where the Ravens defense was atrocious and it got better. And I kind of attributed that to, Zach Orr was a first-time defensive coordinator, first-time play caller, learning the ropes. And then as the season went on, it got better, and I was like, okay, that's what it was. He just needed time to figure things out and to learn the job. But now here we are in year 2, and it's the same thing, where, again, I feel like going into this season, the defense is more talented and better than it was last year, because of the additions of guys like Malachi Starks and Jair Alexander, and losing Brandon Stevens, who stinks. And that was really it. Michael Pierce, we did lose Michael Pierce to retirement. That sucked. But overall, I think that the unit should at least be as good as it was last year. And it's bad. It's not good. 41 points to Buffalo. Yeah, we dominated Cleveland. Cleveland didn't do shit against us, but it's Cleveland. They stink. They can't move the football. And 38 to Detroit. So I mean it's weird because the samples are two great offenses that are going to be amongst the top 10 offenses in football, and the other one is the Browns, who are going to be a bottom five offense in football. And it's like, well, the defense looked really good against the Browns, and it looked really shitty against these two good teams. So I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what's going to happen. This Chiefs game coming up is probably going to teach me something about this team, I think. Should teach us something about this unit because this Chiefs offense has not looked good. They've scored the most points they've scored. What was it? Was it 22 to win against the Giants? How much did they score against the Chargers? It was like 20. It was like 20 something. It was like 23, 21. So they've scored 21, 17, and 22. So if this Chiefs offense comes in and lights up the Ravens, that's a bad sign. That's a very bad sign because this Chiefs offense has done nothing all year. And so that's going to teach us a little bit about this defense. And I don't think I need to learn anything more about the offense. Because again, when I watched this game and I watched Lamar Jackson, I just kept thinking, man, this is the best quarterback in the NFL. I just kept thinking that. I was like, I don't know. I wouldn't want any other guy on this team. And I wouldn't want any other guy to quarterback my favorite teams other than Lamar Jackson. And, you know, it makes you think someday it's going to be over. Hopefully, and it makes me think, especially because of Russ lately and what's going on with Russ. Russ Wilson benched in favor of Jackson Dart after 3 games. The Giants are going with their rookie, and it makes me, reminisce on Russ in Seattle, and I miss my guy. And I realized that, that day is going to come for Lamar in Baltimore. And again, like I had hoped would be the case with Russ in Seattle was, Russ plays 17 years in Seattle and he's good for all of them, and he's the icon of the franchise and everybody loves him, and maybe we win another Super Bowl. And maybe we don't, but we ride with Russ, and obviously that's not what happened. And so I just have to sit here and I just have to do the same thing with Lamar, and I have to just hope that he plays a long career all in Baltimore, win a Super Bowl or two, and go out, the icon of the franchise, which for the Ravens means a lot. To be the icon of the Ravens franchise over a guy like Ray Lewis would be huge. That'd be a huge accomplishment. Being the face of the Seahawks franchise, like history. Russ still is that, probably. I mean, like, even with the shorter run and the one Super Bowl and the disastrous exit, people are probably still going to look at the Seahawks and think, oh, Russell Wilson. Or, the collective that was the Legion of Boom. But if we're talking one individual guy, it would probably be Russ. So if Lamar can pull that off in Baltimore and take that spot from, which I think it's Ray Lewis pretty clearly right now would be that guy. Like I said, maybe Ed Reed, but it would be Ray Lewis. And I think Lamar can take that spot. It's going to take obviously a championship. He's going to have to get a ring. If he never gets a ring here, or not here, but if he never gets a ring in Baltimore, that's never going to happen. But that's the story of the Ravens. I mean, the defense is bad. Defense is bad. And Lamar Jackson is awesome. And Derrick Henry has got to stop fumbling the ball. 3 straight weeks he's fumbled the football. And I saw people blaming that game on the Derrick Henry fumble. Oh, it was still, they had a chance. They were down 4. They had a chance to go down and take the lead. And that is true, but the defense did still hold the Lions to 3. That was the one time they decided to play good and hold the Lions to 3. And down 7, getting the ball back, it was the offensive line that cost us the game in my head, because on 1st and 10, down 7, Lamar gets sacked for the 6th time in the fucking game and loses 7 yards, and that turns it to a 2nd and 17 and killed the drive before it could even really try and get started. And that was when the game was over. When we were down 7 and had to punt them the ball back after a 3 and out, that was when it was done. They went down and scored easily again because the defense is fucking terrible. The defense is bad and the offensive line is bad. That's the problem with the Ravens. And yeah, when things are working for the Ravens, it's the best team in football, I feel like, by a mile. If you catch the Ravens when everything is going awesome, nobody can beat this football team. But most weeks, that's just not the case. That's just not the case. And this team they beat themselves. Nobody can beat the Ravens except for the Ravens. And I have seen that week in and week out for years now under John Harbaugh. And it stings. It fucking stings. But we got Kansas City coming up. We got to go back on the road to Kansas City. And I felt like the Ravens have been the better football team for the last 3 years over Kansas City. But obviously Kansas City's got 2 rings and another Super Bowl appearance to show for it, and all we've got is a AFC Championship loss to them. So I don't know what the fucking, there's just no. We have to win this game. We don't want to fall to 1-3. And we want the Chiefs to fall to 1-3. Try to bury them as much as we can. And, this is a tough early schedule for us. Start with Buffalo. Get Cleveland, which was easy. Then Detroit. Kansas City. Houston, who's 0-3, is week 5, but I still think they're a good team. And then the Rams in week 6, who are good. And then an early bye in week 7. Then things start to turn around in week 8, where we get the Bears. Miami in week 9. Minnesota in week 10. Some shitty teams in there. So just survive this early schedule. Don't fucking dig yourself in too deep of a hole here. We need to go into Kansas City and beat these fucking guys. And carry that on to Houston and the Rams. And, try and be 4-2 at the bye. Try and be 4-2 at the bye. At least 3-3. 2-4. Any lower than that, I mean, you're making it really hard on yourself. Even in this division where the Bengals don't have their quarterback, and Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh, and the Browns stink. You still don't want to get too far behind in your division to the point where you have to make up 3-4 games at any point. Even though I think we can do it. But that's kind of where that sits. And then Eagles-Rams, like I said, I watched the second half of when the Eagles were coming back. And that last drive where the Eagles went down and scored, and Jalen just kept throwing the ball to A.J. Brown. It was like, hey, have people not been saying this is the best, this is their offense, when this should be their passing offense, is just throw the ball to A.J. Brown a bunch of times and let him make plays? And they did that on the last drive to go down and take the lead, and it fucking worked. And AJ Brown kept going and getting the ball and making plays. And I was watching these Jalen Hurts throws, and I wasn't like super impressed with these throws. These were kind of soft. There was a little air under the ball on these throws where I'd see him release and I'd be like, ooh, where the hell is that going to go? And then it would be to AJ Brown on like a jump ball on like a curl route, and it was just fucking money. He would just go up and moss whatever Ram defender was on him. And then they go down and win and take the lead. The Rams go down, get in field goal range, and then this crazy block kick. It was like the second Eagles kick that they blocked. Second time the Eagles blocked a kick in the game, I think. And then obviously for some reason they just fucking Jordan Davis just runs it all the way back for a touchdown with zeros on the clock to make it 33-26 the final. Impressive comeback by the Eagles. It was 26-7, I believe. And they come all the way back, win the football game. And the Chiefs, the takes of the Eagles, the 2025 Eagles are the 2024 Chiefs. They're flowing already. They're getting these lucky wins where, CeeDee Lamb drops like 3 passes that could have flipped the result of that game in week 1, and if Kelsey just catches the ball instead of letting it bounce, if Kelsey catches that ball, it's a touchdown. Instead, it goes through his hands and it's a pick the other way, which leads to points. People are like, oh, well, how often is that going to happen? And then now in this, where they block a bunch of kicks and then come back from down big, it's like, well, is this just the 2024 Chiefs? Are they going to get kind of lucky and win games that are ugly and people aren't going to really take them that seriously? I don't know. We'll see. But it does feel like that so far. And then after that game ended, they went into the bonus coverage of Buccaneers-Jets. And the Jets were like winning. I was very concerned because I was on here last week talking about how much I love the Bucs and how much I think of them and how I think Baker's awesome and how they're one of the best teams in football and that they can win the Super Bowl. And they were about to lose to the Jets. And they didn't. Baker got the ball back, drove him down the field, scored 29-27. The Bucs take that win. I saw that last drive. And I will say, though, I am a little bit concerned because it is 3 weeks in a row where they've needed a Baker drive at the end of the game to go down and win. And obviously, the way Baker's been playing these last couple of years and the way he started this season, he's one of the, if they said, you've got one drive, you need to go get a touchdown to win the game, take your pick of quarterback. In this scenario, Baker's probably a top 5 pick in that draft. You're probably picking Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Baker, and Stafford. That would probably be my 5 if I needed that scenario. If I was in that scenario, those would probably. You know what? Actually, I take that back. It'd be Mahomes, Lamar, Baker, Stafford, and somebody else. Because I've seen Josh Allen in that scenario in the playoffs like over and over again, and he never fucking gets it done. So maybe throw Burrow in there instead of Allen. But Burrow's hurt, so maybe not Burrow. Maybe I don't fucking know. Joe Flacco. Maybe Joe Cool, baby. Probably, I don't know. Justin Herbert, Dak. Goff. I don't know. But the point is, Baker, you don't want to rely on too many of these. You don't want to have a game-winning drive every week to win against a team like the Jets. You should, if the Bucs are as good as I think they are, which they are, they should have been able to beat the Jets more handily than this. The Jets are frisky, man. Tyrod Taylor was out there. He's their starter now because Justin Fields is down. The old Unk still got it. Tyrod Taylor, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. 72 completion percentage. That's my guy, former Raven, Super Bowl champion, Tyrod Taylor. So that was a little concerning that they needed that against the Jets, but ultimately I think they'll be fine. And the Chiefs Giants, I watched that game too. Ugly game. Turns out, like I said earlier, Russ is now benched. Turns out Russ is not all the way back. like like I thought after last week, he was potentially all the way back. And now it is so over. Fuck. It is so over. 160 passing yards, 56 completion percentage, no touchdowns, 2 picks. And it's over for my boy. He's done. It's fucking wraps. Mahomes, 224, 59 completion percentage, a touchdown, no picks. The thing I need to talk about with Kansas City is there's something here with Mahomes and Tyquan Thornton. There's something there. Because every time Mahomes throws Tyquan Thornton the ball, it's in the air and I'm like, oh shit, big play, here it comes. And then it's a little off. He threw it a little too deep. Oh, the timing was a little off here. It wasn't quite perfect, but he was open. And I do worry if they ever figure that out. If they can get Hollywood Brown stinks. If they can get Rashee Rice back and they can get, what's the other guy's name? Worthy. The fast guy. Xavier Worthy. They can get Worthy back, which it looks like they might get against Baltimore. They'll get Rice back after his suspension. I think week 7 is when he'll be eligible to return. And if they can figure out what's going on with Mahomes and Thornton and get that connection stronger, that's dangerous. That's definitely dangerous. Because every time, like I said, every time Mahomes throws him the ball, I'm like, oh, he's open. And, I mean, even in this game, 5 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown for Thornton. And they missed, like, 2 of them that could have gone for big plays as well. So, the fumble was a huge play because Mahomes throws a backwards pass trying to get it to Pacheco. And it hits the dirt, and it's a fumble, and the Giants pick it up, and the Giants have the ball in the 5-yard line, and this guy, I don't remember who it was that picked it up, but he was about to go in for the touchdown, and fucking Mahomes runs up and fucking punches the ball back out and gets it back and recovers the fumble. And I guess technically the Giants never recovered it because they ruled that the guy didn't have the ball long enough or make enough football moves or whatever the fuck they say for it to be a clear change of possession, because Mahomes gets the ball back and it didn't change to a 1st and 10. It ended up still being like a 2nd and fucking 30 or whatever it would have been, like a 3rd and 20 something. But that was a huge play because that was a potential huge swing because it was a close game at that point. It was like 6-6 or 9-6. I think it was 9-6 Kansas City. And if the Giants score there, it's 9-13. And that could have hugely swung this game. So the Chiefs won. It wasn't pretty. All things considered, the score looks like they won by more than it really feels like they did. 22-9. It felt closer than that. In the 3rd quarter, they had an 11-play, 74-yard drive that looked a lot like the Chiefs. That put them up by 10. And that was a big drive. And it was kind of like the broadcasters kept going like, oh, this is the old Chiefs. They're back. Collinsworth was like, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes, he might be back. And they never really did. They didn't really do much else after that. They had one more drive. And this drive looked a lot more like the Chiefs than the other, because it was 77 yards in 4 minutes. This was a 21-yard pass to Thornton and then a 33-yard pass to Thornton. That pretty much made up that drive. And that drive did look a little bit more like the old Chiefs. But that was kind of it. They didn't really do much. The Giants did nothing else. They got a field goal in the fourth to make it 16-9. And that's when the Chiefs went down and got the next touchdown. And that was the game. And the one other thing I want to talk about with this Giants team is Scadaboo. Because I remember watching that playoff game, that college football playoff game that he was in. I don't remember who they were playing. Who did they play? I'm looking it up, by the way. That's why I was just sitting here in silence. Google, fuck off. Texas, Arizona State in double overtime. That game, I remember watching that game and watching Scadaboo run. And that was around the time he was like, oh, how good really is he? I don't think he's an NFL player. Like, maybe he's like a fullback. Maybe he'll be a fullback in the NFL. And I just remember watching that game and being like, how the fuck can you think this guy can't play? 30 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns against fucking Texas? Like, this wasn't a bullshit school that he was good doing this against. This is Texas. This was one of the top teams in the country. For fucking Arizona State. And he was just dominating. Oh yeah, and he had the 42-yard pass too. I forgot about that. Look at these numbers this kid put up. 1 for 1, 42 yards and a touchdown passing. 30 carries, 143 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing. 8 receptions and 99 yards receiving. People watched that game and said, this guy is not going to be good in the NFL. This guy can't play in the NFL. How? He was 10 attempts and 60 yards and a touchdown in this game. I'm not saying he's fucking a star. I'm not saying he's going to be one of the best backs in football. But people were like, oh, 7th round pick. Like, maybe a team takes a flyer on him. I think the Giants took him in the 5th. It's like, this guy can play football. They took him in the 4th. 105th overall. That was baffling to me, watching that playoff game and being like, how the fuck do people think this guy can't play? This guy's gonna be good in the NFL. He's gonna have a long career. Or he's gonna have a career. I don't know if it'll be long because of the way he runs. He fucking smashes people. He's 5'11", 215. He just fucking smashes people. Which is impressive. But that was my other lasting thought from this game, was watching Scadaboo run and being like, I can't believe people thought this guy wasn't going to be an NFL player. Like, I just can't believe that. That was so dumb. Anybody who thought he wouldn't be able to play in the NFL is like, dude, what the fuck? Do you watch football? Do you know what a running back does? Like, this guy's a fucking running back. So that's my thoughts on the games I watched. It's time to go over Bean's picks. And I was on my high horses after last week. We were 12-3. It was a great week. Week 3 was bad. This was bad. I went 6-10 this week. I went fucking 6-10 this week. My picks were Bills, Rams, Falcons, Packers, Texans, Bengals, Pats, Tampa Bay, Indy, Raiders, Seattle, Dallas, San Francisco, Kansas City, Denver, and Baltimore. The only two of those teams that won were the Bills, Bucks, Colts, Seahawks, Niners, and Chiefs. Everybody else lost. 6-10 week, boys. 6-10 week. 6-10 week. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad in the early window. Because in that early window, it was like Rams. It was the Rams game, Atlanta, Green Bay, Houston, Bengals, New England, Tampa Bay. I think those were the only game, and maybe the Colts game was in that early window too. So in the early window, I was like 1-6. I was like 1-6 or 1-7. I was like, oh shit, this is bad. and then the Seahawks and San Francisco kept me afloat. The Bills on Thursday night kept me afloat too. Chiefs 6-10. That's really bad. That's really fucking bad. I can't believe that. So we're 18-13 overall in the season. After an incredible start, I completely fucked it up. Completely, royally fucked it up. And now we're going into week 4, 18-13. And we're going to start with Thursday night football. Seahawks at Cardinals. You guys know who I'm taking already. Give me the Hawks, baby. Let's go. Go Hawks. We're going to go into Arizona and beat them Cardinals again, because that's what we do every fucking year. Minnesota, Pittsburgh in the first 6:30 a.m. kickoff game of the season here on the West Coast. They're in Germany or something, I think. Germany? Yeah, they're in Ireland. They're in Ireland. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and fucking Ireland. Who the hell's going to win this game? I don't fucking know. I don't really think either of these teams are good, yet they're both 2-1. One of them starting Aaron Rodgers and one of them starting Carson Wentz. Realistically, that should be all I need to know. And when I put it like that, yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers. Oh my God, I don't feel good about it, but I'm going to take the Steelers. I do not feel good about picking the Steelers to win football games, but fuck, it's the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are really that good. Oh, fuck. I'll do it. Washington at Atlanta. Oh, yeah, that's another game I should have probably talked about. Atlanta lost 30-0 to the fucking Panthers. That was bad. You know me and my Michael Penix, all that stock that I have that I keep telling everybody, if you have some and you want to give it up, I'll buy it. It was down this week. That was bad. Lost by 30 to Carolina. Didn't score at all. Yet for some reason I still feel like I want to pick them to beat the Commanders. Because I don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing. I mean, it didn't matter. Mariota put up fucking 40 against the Raiders. Just 30 minutes ago, Jaden Daniels on potentially playing in Week 4 versus Falcons. It's up to the doctors. Knee sprain, return to practice on limited fashion Wednesday. It's up to the doctors, not my decision, Daniels said. Added that he feels good but remained vague when answering questions, noting he doesn't believe his knee injury affects his ability to perform, and he's able to move well enough. He's able to move. Why the fuck did they put it this way? They put move well, quote, enough to feel good if I play on Sunday, end quote. That just feel, he was able to move well enough to feel good if I play on Sunday. But the well isn't, I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know if he's going to play. And it really affects my pick. Because I don't think the Falcons are going to, they just lost to the Panthers. They're not going to go 1-3 though. They're a good football team. They're at home, and I think Mariota starts. Fuck, I'm picking them again. I'm picking the Falcons again. I don't think I've picked Washington to win yet this year. Did I pick them in week 2? No. Damn it. Fine. Fuck it. I'm picking the Falcons. Philly at Tampa. 3-0 versus 3-0. This is a tough fucking game to pick, man. But I picked Tampa to be the number 1 seed at the beginning of the season in the preseason. And if they're going to do that, this is a game that they probably are going to need to win. So I'm picking Tampa Bay. The Bucs are going to be 4-0. Let's fucking roll. The Saints play this week, which means they're going to lose. And especially because they play the Buffalo Bills. So they're definitely going to fucking lose. That's easy. Cleveland at Detroit. Take Detroit. That should be easy. Tennessee at Houston. I'll take Houston. 2 0-3 teams, and I don't think Houston's as bad as 0-3. Carolina at New England. Carolina just put up 30. New England could only muster 14. They're in Foxborough, though. I'm going to take New England. Chargers at Giants. Take the Chargers. Indy at the Rams. Indianapolis Jones against Matt Stafford. The run ends here. The Colts are not going to go 4-0. Give me the Rams. Jags at San Francisco. Jags are 2-1. They have not looked impressive per se, but these numbers have them top half in points per game and passing yards per game and top 5 in rushing yards per game. Is Mac Jones going to start this game? That definitely would change my pick. Brock Purdy versus Mac Jones. If Brock Purdy was playing, I would 100% pick the 100% pick the Niners. If it's Mac Jones, though, which I think it is Mac Jones. No, it definitely is Mac Jones. I'm picking the Jags. I'm picking the Jags to beat the Niners. And if Mac Jones beats them, then fuck. We're going to have to really have the conversation. If Mac Jones just keeps looking good and winning games, we're going to have the Brock Purdy conversation at some point. We're going to just have to. Is it just an easy scheme to play quarterback in? To where the Mr. Irrelevant 7th round pick can take you to the Super Bowl, and Mac Jones, who the entire world agreed sucked at playing quarterback, except for like 8 games in his rookie year. Everybody agreed he sucks. Turns out he's also good when he plays in this system. We'll have to have the conversation at some point. But I don't think we will, because I think the Jags are going to win this game. Baltimore at Kansas City. You know who I'm riding with. I'm riding with my guys. Baltimore, we're going into Kansas City. We're going to fucking kick the shit out of the Chiefs. Maybe probably not, but we're going to win. Excuse me. We're going to win. And yeah, I feel good about that. I feel like we're the better team. And we need it. We fucking desperately need it. So, Chicago at the Raiders. Man. The Raiders, man. Fuck. They lost by 20 points to Mariota. I picked them to win. They lost by 20 points to fucking Mariota. And I want to pick them to win again. Oh, fuck. I want to pick them to win again. I'm not big on the Bears. I don't really buy the Bears this year. Maybe next year for them. These numbers that I'm looking at tell me points per game, Bears are better. Passing yards per game, Raiders are better, but not by a ton. Rushing yards per game, Bears are way better. Fuck it. I'm picking the Raiders. I think there's 3 teams. There's like 4 or 5 teams that I've picked to win every week. It's the Seahawks, the Ravens, the fucking Raiders, the Falcons, and Tampa. Those are the teams I think I've picked to win every fucking week this year. And low-key New England, too. Holy shit. I'm looking through these now. I low-key New England. I also pick New England every time. And the Rams. No, I picked the Eagles last week. No, I picked the Rams last week. That's fuck. This is bad. I feel like I'm just repeating picks. I feel like I'm picking the same teams every week, and I feel like that's not good. Cowboys, Packers, Sunday Night Football in Dallas, in Jerry World. That's going to be a fun game. The Packers just got embarrassed. They lost by 3 to Cleveland, 13-10 in Cleveland. That's bad, bro. That is bad. But I think the Packers take it, because I think ultimately at the end of the day, the Packers are a good team and Dallas is an alright team. There's a motivation on both sides. Obviously, the Packers are going to want to win big for Micah, and the Cowboys are going to want to beat them and prove that, hey, we don't need Micah, and that it was a good trade for them. So we'll see what happens. I think the Packers win. And then 2 Monday Night Football games. Two fucking stinkers here, boys. Jets, Dolphins in an 0-3 battle. And oh my god. Jets, Dolphins? Tyrod Taylor versus Tua? Bro, this is disgusting football. Why the fuck is this on a Monday night? Preseason, I could have told you this shit should not be on a Monday fucking night. We've got fucking Baltimore, Kansas City in a midday window. We've got Philly, Tampa in the morning window. And we've got fucking Jets, Dolphins on a Monday night. Can I pick a tie? Should I pick a tie? Because both of these teams fucking suck. I'm not going to pick a tie. I will pick Miami's at home. But the Jets have actually not looked that bad. I want to pick the Jets. This is going to be a... No matter what happens in this game, I'm going to be pissed. Because I feel like I'm going to pick the Jets and Miami's going to win. I'm going to be like, obviously the Jets weren't going to win fucking a football game on the road in primetime at home. Or if I pick Miami and they lose, I'm going to be like, obviously Tua didn't fucking recover from forgetting how to play football in a week. And obviously their defense still sucks. Like, oh man. These two teams both have 6 total defensive sacks and 0 total defensive interceptions. Oh, they both are just bad. But the Jets have been better bad. The Jets have been like fun bad, where it's like, oh, they lost to Pittsburgh, but they scored 33 points. Oh, they lost to Tampa, but they scored 27, and they were, like, exciting. But prime time Monday Night Football, can they do all that shit? If this was at 10 a.m., I'd pick the Jets easily. But because it's on Monday Night Football, or I guess it's one of two on Monday Night Football, a part of me just leans like more experienced coach. The best player on either team is probably still Tyreek Hill. Tyrod Taylor is a more experienced quarterback overall, but he's been a backup. I'm spending way too much time on these two 0-3 teams. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking pick the next game and think about it. Bengals at Broncos. 2-1 Bengals, 1-2 Broncos. Jake Browning still starting for Cincy. And I don't know. Denver? It has to be Denver, right? It has to be. It has to be Denver just because Bo Nix is probably still better than Jake Browning, and Sean Payton's the better coach, and they have home field. Browning's good, but he's still a backup quarterback. I'll pick Denver. Oh, I wish I had a coin. Do I have a coin in here? I should flip a coin for this fucking Jets game. 0-3 versus 0-3, and I'm fucking sitting here. This is why I am the way that I am, is because I'm fucking sitting here stressing, debating Jets fucking Miami, because I care about my record, man. I don't want to fuck this up. And after last week, now I'm I'm taking the Jets. That's the team. I just feel like they've been better this year. I feel like they've been better, and I feel like the safe pick is Miami because of what I listed. They're at home. They have the more experienced, the more tenured roster together, more experienced coach. But I think the Jets are better. They've been better through 3 games. I'm going to regret this. I already know it. But I was going to regret picking, if I picked Miami, this is one of those games. Whoever I pick is going to lose. That's all. That's the way I feel right now. So we'll ride with that. Here's my picks. For the week, Seattle over Arizona, Pittsburgh over Minnesota, Atlanta over Washington, Tampa Bay over Philly, I almost said something crazy. Buffalo over New Orleans. I almost said New Orleans. I almost said New Orleans over Buffalo. Buffalo over New Orleans, Detroit over Cleveland, Houston over the Titans, New England beats Carolina, the Chargers beat the Giants, the Rams, beat the Colts, Jags over San Francisco, Baltimore over Kansas City, the Raiders over the Bears, the Raiders over the Bears, Packers over Cowboys, Jets over Dolphins, and Broncos over the Bengals. 18-3 going into week 4. That's that. Quick side note, the fucking Mariners are in the playoffs, boys. Let's fucking go. The Mariners clinched the playoffs last night thanks to Josh Naylor's bases clearing double. We were down 3-1 against the fucking Rockies. And Josh Naylor in the 8th, fucking big dick swing, bro. A big dick swing, fucking clears the bases for a triple, takes the lead, or for a double, takes the lead. And then Munoz does the rest, shuts him down in the top of the 9th. And the Mariners have secured a playoff spot at 88-69 and currently hold a 4-game lead over Houston. The magic number for the division is down to 1. 1. Win one more game against Colorado. We play Colorado for 2 more games and then the Dodgers. If we win one more game, we will have won the division. And you know what? We don't even have to win one more game. We can go 0-5 the rest of the way as long as the Astros lose one more time. We're good. We need one win or one Astro loss to secure the AL West for the first time since fucking like 2001 when we won like 116 games. I haven't won the division since. 116 wins. We're fucking about to clinch it at 89. Let's fucking do it. Play Colorado tonight at 6:40. T-Mobile Park. Luis Castillo is pitching. The lineup is Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Josh Naylor, Jorge Polanco, Eugenio Suarez, Dom Canzone, Victor Robles, and J.P. Crawford for Seattle. Colorado does not have their lineup up. So, fuck it. Let's go win this division here tonight against this shitty ass Colorado Rockies team. They're 43 and 114. Come on, let's just fucking finish the job, win the division, and try to lock in that bye because we're currently 3 games over Cleveland for the 2 spot. Toronto is 90-67. We're 88-69. Cleveland is 85-72. Detroit blew the fuck out of that lead. They had like a 10-12 game lead in the AL Central. They completely blew it. Cleveland is back. Let's go Cleveland. Let's go Cleveland. Shout out fucking fucking Big Christmas. I fucking love Is Big Christmas even still on the team? I don't even fucking know. Johanski Noel or whatever the fuck. Come on. Is my boy. He was a dog last year. He's got to still be on the team, right? I'm not going to lie. I haven't watched a single Cleveland game this year. Yeah, he's still on the team. My boy's still on the team. Jose Ramirez. That's my dog, too. They had Bo Naylor. They still have Bo Naylor. They had Josh Naylor, my guy, last year. But now he's a Mariner, and he's going to be a Mariner to stay. We're going to pay him this offseason, I hope. We're going to pay him. We're going to pay Gino. Pay Randy. Keep these guys around. Bring Polo back. Let's fucking come on, man. We're about to win the division. We can't let these guys go. So that's the quick baseball update. Cal Raleigh, 57 home runs, I think. Maybe he's got 58 by now. I don't remember. But the Mariner record, he past Ken Griffey Jr. A record that was held by Ken Griffey Jr. now belongs to Cal Raleigh. MVP him up right now. Give him the MVP. We're going to win our division and the Yankees aren't. Fuck Aaron Judge. Give Cal Raleigh the MVP. I don't give a fuck about VORP or whatever the fuck these gay ass fucking numbers you guys use are. Fucking Cal Raleigh hits dingers. He catches behind the plate. And we fucking win games, alright? Fuck whatever Aaron Judge does. I give a fuck. Go Mariners. Let's go fucking win this division tonight. Clinch it over beating up on fucking Colorado. And secure ourselves a first round bye too if we can while we're at it. I don't think we can clinch that tonight. Maybe we can though if Cleveland loses and we win. Maybe we can clinch that. But if we just win these next 2 games against Colorado, who sucks, we should be fine. We should get that second bye, be the 2 spot going into the playoffs, not have to worry about playing in the wild card, and get some fucking postseason baseball in Seattle. That would be electric. So that's the baseball update. That's the first time I've probably ever talked baseball on the show. I do watch baseball. I do enjoy baseball. Mariners fan, obviously. But I haven't been able to watch as much this year because I'm no longer unemployed. When I was unemployed, no, I had nothing to do all day. I would just wait for Mariners games to come on and watch the Mariners games. But since I have become employed, I can't do that anymore, which fucking sucks. I can only watch games, when I'm off because I work fucking till 10 every night. And the games are usually always on at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So that's why I haven't talked baseball much. But going into the playoffs, I'm sure I'll talk about it a little bit. I'll go out of my way to watch playoff games as they happen, if I can, or just in post and talk about those. So week 3 recap, week 4 preview, and a little bit of Seattle Mariners talk here to end out the pod. Shorter pod this week, I guess regular pod this week. It's an actual Beansball hour and not a Beansball half hour or a Beansball hour and a half. So we'll take that, and I'll be back next week. Obviously, clearly it's not consistent if I do it Tuesday or Wednesday. But next week I actually have to work on Wednesday instead of, my regular Tuesday and Wednesday off. I have Tuesday and Thursday off, which is fucking gay. So I'll probably be back Tuesday next week to recap week 4 and preview week 5. And hopefully the Beans Picks segment will go much better this week than it did last week because 6-10 is bad. And after a 12-3 start, I was feeling it. I was feeling good about my ability to pick these games, and then I went 6-10, and I feel like I'm fucking dumb again. And now I'm going to be overthinking it for the rest of the fucking year, just like I did with the Jets game. But you know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, share the pod, get the word out. I appreciate you guys, and that's it.